Hello, and welcome to the podcast. My name is Patrick, and I'll be your chief flight attendant today. We'll begin the show in a few minutes, but first I'd like to acquaint you with some important safety information. 3 Sheets to the Mouse may contain language and subject matters that aren't suitable for smaller aviators, so listener discretion is advised. When the intro music begins, please take a seat and partake of any carry-on items. This includes bottles, flasks, cans, fine cigars, and skin mags. Okay, let's review. That is, F-bombs, earmuffs, get drunk, smoke 'em if you got 'em, and send nudes. Anything else? Oh yeah, enjoy the show.
Sounds sorted, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously squared, be prepared.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 203 of 3 Sheets to the Mouse. We're the podcast that likes to focus on the adult side of Disney, from the parks to the movies to dining. We'll cover everything Disney has to offer, and I think tonight we're going to talk a lot about their booze. I'm Mikey, and Adam joins me tonight in welcoming you to So You Think You Can Host Season 2, featuring Stephen Cohen.
No, we're not doing that again, no.
And Todd Miller. Adam, who's the odds-on favorite this round?
I quit.
This is not.
Stephen, what new talents are you bringing to the table?
I am now bringing the talents of Lightning McCohen. It is of my my ECV that goes really, really slow.
But later on in the week, he will turn into Stephen Cohen. Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking.
When he's getting pushed around by everybody else.
And Todd.
I can edit. It's my new talent.
Right.
I done it.
That's exactly what that sounded like.
Right? Next thing you know, you'll be standing in someone's bathroom and just in your underwear with a handgun shooting. That's the same actor, different movie. I'm just bullshitting with you, dear listener. We wouldn't put you through the hell and purgatory. That would be season 2 of So You Think You Can Host. Nobody deserves that. Ever. Tonight, if your livers are up to it, I ask the 3 of you, what are you drinking? I guess I should name
Yeah, you should
by
probably
name,
choose a
no
name.
no one just jumped in there. Okay, editor.
I am drinking Sticky Fudge from Evergreen Brewing Company. If anybody saw Tim Knapp's post, he posted the Dole Whip replica beer, which we also drank a can of tonight. But I have a growler of this porter, coffee, malty, caramely deliciousness.
And that is, you said about a dozen percent?
11. Almost a dozen.
So
It's
about
practically a dozen.
So about a dozen percent. I mean, I don't want to split hairs, but...
But I'm going to have 2 servings, so it's like 22%, I think.
Okay.
Oh boy.
That's like a quarter then.
Oh boy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right.
Almost.
Adam, what are you drinking there? Oh boy.
Since Maria's not here.
Oh, is it, does it rhyme with Pellegrino?
No.
Oh, okay.
Shut your whore mouth and let me finish.
How about I let you start?
That works too. Alright, so since Maria's not here, and she's the sample pack queen, I'm just gonna hit my wine fridge up a little bit. I have a whole bunch of the Recorgling flavors, and I'm gonna find out which one's the best in it. So right now I'm working on the mango raspberry, which is actually very good.
Well, I can't wait to find out which one's the worst. I don't know if you know how the show goes, but really we all just wait to find out which one tastes like piss.
The problem is they're different when you put them in a porthole.
Yeah, but that's not what we're doing right now.
I know, but
Why is that a problem?
well, because like the mango sounds so good, and then we did portholes and we used the mango, and it was not.
No, but the actual by itself, it's really fucking good.
You're doing it wrong, Todd. Steven,
God damn
Yes.
I assume you're mixing some alcohol with your painkillers because you, I don't even know what you did.
I broke my foot.
it.
Uh-huh.
Well, this will make it into the bulk of the show.
Yeah. I am drinking Macallan Edition 4, so I'm continuing my Scotch binge from last week, and it's a really nice blend. It's almost like a very desserty Scotch. It has a really sweet finish to it.
Oh. Well,
Well,
would you look at that?
Would you look at
Huh.
that?
Would you look at that?
Just
would, you,
look at
would you look at that? Fucking love Base Master. I have a. This would get me in trouble if she listened. I just bottled down some Tito's, but it does not have a name on it anywhere. Well, would you look at that?
oh, that's ballsy.
Nope, I'm good. It had like one pour in it. However, I reached at random to get a glass out of my
I noticed that.
cabinet. The glass
you
has
are
her
in.
name on it and a silhouette of Maleficent, and apparently, I am a bad bitch, according to what's etched into the rocks glass.
I'm praying for you.
Danger,
So-
Mikey Rosenhunt.
So
Danger.
when Mikey said that we are not holding a contest for the next host, we probably will be holding a contest for the next host.
No, you're going to be holding a contest to see who has to take over leading this thing.
Nope. It'll be. I just need some pallbearers.
I'm in.
I can get you some tall beers.
Well, I don't think you're that heavy. I think I could carry it.
I need some domesticated pallbearers.
Wait, did you say bald bears? Because that ain't happening.
I mean,
Oh, domesticated ball bearers.
Jesus Christ.
And we're off.
yes, we
The
are
rails.
off to the races. Okay. Well, all three of you guys just got back from a trip to Disney World, and I am sure you're all happy to be back home and back at work and away from the chaos that is theme park and resort life. Am I right?
Yay.
Oh, so happy.
I hate my life.
You sit down to walk right now, Steven. You have the leg to stand on.
Oh, he got you good there. Like
You
you
did.
can't deny that.
I can't even walk up the stairs without it hurting, so...
Neither could Adam, and he was hosting for weeks.
Yeah. True.
He was quarantined downstairs.
Yeah, well, I was told that I should not. I actually had to stay off my ankle for figures.
Oh, you listened
I had no choice.
to the
Because
okay.
if I
Well, we'll get into
didn't
that, I'm
listen,
sure.
it would hurt a lot. So I'm like, yeah, that hurts a little too much for me to play with. I'm just gonna sit on the couch.
Okay, so this would have, I mean, just, because I was drunk through most of it, not even down there. This was RAWR,
Yes.
not a marathon weekend.
We're supposed to.
It was if your last name ended in Agano.
Yes. Only
Yeah,
one
so-
of them ran the marathon.
Huerton.
Will did a half on Sunday.
Yeah, I want to say Tanya ran 5 miles was her max.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Will ran a half on Saturday before we were in Magic
That's
Kingdom.
what it was. Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why Tanya couldn't just go the extra mile or so and just get a 10K out of it. Just 5K.
She was maintaining herself.
Love you, Tanya.
If you push yourself too far, you could injure yourself.
And then end up getting pushed around.
I did have the scooter on Saturday. We opted for the wheelchair on Sunday
Because it was free.
Because Brian needed a
Because-
workout because he wasn't running as much.
because Brian needed a workout, and we also found the wheelchair in the parking lot because somebody forgot to collect it from Get
Nope.
Services.
It was a miracle or rapture.
That's what we
Either
call
way.
pixie dust.
It's like finding a shopping cart right where you need it when you're, returning a TV. I've never returned a TV, so I don't know if that's actually a thing.
I did feel like I was going to die though when John Gambaro did take the reins.
Oh, that
on
was scary.
Pandora.
Ooh.
That was scary.
Yeah, we have a whole segment, I think, dedicated to John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get to who of the three of you who got down there first.
Steven, I think did. Yeah.
I got in on Wednesday night, an hour early for some miracle, and
Time change.
by
From
change,
New York to Orlando,
I mean,
yeah, that hour difference.
and went right to meeting Chris Carter, Teddy, and Jess at a random bar, and commenced the drinking of the Butt Light.
So your round one was round 657,294 for them.
I mean, I thought it was in the millions.
I don't know how Carter is still alive.
Chris Carter is the worst influence when it comes to alcohol in the world.
100%.
Yes. I mean, he is the machine. Like if he was in Russia, he's the machine.
Accurate. I would love to hear him tell that story with his accent. It'd be great.
It's the only Bert Kreischer joke I know. Kreischer, Harry Krishna. I don't know his
Harry
name. Freaking
Krishna.
Harry Bear. That's what he is.
Brett Kirchner.
Yeah, that guy. Okay, so you got down there first. You met up with locals, and I mean, Carter's a local at this point, I
It's a
guess. the
resident
rest of the
now,
month.
I think.
Yeah.
So butt lights, and then crash out. Day one.
They won.
Okay, then all hell breaks loose because Pennsylvania shows up.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep. Pretty much. Well, we started drinking the night before.
As
We
one
did have
does.
some Silverado, which was
It must be something with the Millers.
it was wasted on me because I don't drink red wine.
No, you liked it?
I did like it, but
Did you put ice in it?
no.
He would get kicked out of the house. But we all didn't get too drunk because we had to be up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to head down.
Yeah,
You had plain drinks.
some of us did.
And this is where it begins for me. I might or might not have had 5 nips on a 2-hour plane ride.
Yeah, that's like 900%. Like you guys need to do in the math.
Yep.
No, I'm thinking that's 120 minutes divided by 5 is like 64. No, that's not even close to being
About
right.
20?
24. Somewhere in that
We
neighborhood.
also set,
So that's
we also sat on the runway for a couple minutes too, so we probably got one in before it was even wheels up.
Yeah.
I mean, were you double parked?
Well,
Did you have one in each hand?
no, because you're technically not allowed to bring them on the plane. So I Miami Mafia'd it and just dumped them all into a water bottle, a tea bottle,
Ah,
and just sipped my
Okay,
tea the
so
whole flight.
Did not even think why
I-
you ordered tea at 6 in the morning at the airport.
Well, the caffeine helped, but
It was a
Then so did
pure
liquor.
leaf lemon tea bottle.
mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with that. The English drink tea in the morning. Why can't he?
And Tim doesn't drink. He will normally drink an iced tea in the morning. He doesn't drink coffee, so it's not really all that unusual for Tim.
So I ended up we were all on the same flight. That flight got canceled, so we were all moved to another flight, which left like an hour later, whatever. And then I got bumped off that flight onto a third flight. So Tim and Adam got to Orlando about 35 minutes before me. And when I caught up to Tim and Adam
Adam was
had the smiles.
Yes. Adam doesn't remember the car ride to the resort.
And I know
And did you guys rent a car to make that trip?
yes,
No.
from a Bermudian artisan.
Yes.
Ah, that's right.
Tim
That's
said it was
right.
the worst Uber ride of his life.
I've ridden with him.
I don't remember it.
Just
There,
From my house to his house to South Carolina, then down to Florida.
I remember waiting outside for him. I remember giving him a hug, and then that's about it for the whole car ride.
And then he woke up in Epcot.
Pretty much. Not for long though, because there's a pretty fuzzy spot at Epcot too.
Well, no, we went back to Kidani first and
Yes.
dropped our bags.
Because first time ever, our room was ready at like 10 a.m. And
How does that
I
happen?
have no idea.
Yeah, so James and Jen were able to check in and get to the room and everything.
And put luggage up, and my
Purple
owner's
Locker showed up.
Yep.
Yeah.
everything was already there.
So you had turnkey.
Yeah.
Huh. God damn.
Yeah, we parked at the resort, went up, took our bags up, dropped them in the room, and went down to the bus stop to go to Epcot.
Did we do road sodas?
100%.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't remember what we drank, but I remember doing it. Might have been just the.
I think it was a. It was
it
a
the
straight of
Kirkland?
hands. Yes, Kirkland. Yep, it was Kirkland's. Yep. Which was phenomenal, by the way, for a budget whiskey. That Kirkland's was good.
And the big bottle lasted about a day and a half. Just
It was
that-
like two.
that
it was
wasn't
like 2
open.
days.
No. By the end of the
At
next
what
night, it
point-
was empty.
All right.
At what
fine.
point did your group merge with Steven's group?
Epcot.
Yeah, kind of throughout the trip,
Well, the first
we-
merging happened at Epcot.
we kind of had our own
Yeah.
little pods the entire time.
we started. I got into Epcot around 12:15 with Brian. We started in England and slowly began taking over the patio next to Rose and Crown. And by the time, I would say 3 hours later, we were still in England. we were fully sheeter assembled, including this one random couple that just decided to sit in
They
the
were
middle
The
of,
very middle table.
and I mean, I think you guys ran out of tokens, so there were at least 30 of us in this area.
Sounds pretty close.
Well, we didn't take all the tokens with us because we didn't think we would see that many people on
We
the
took
first
3
day.
rolls and they were gone
Yeah.
by the time we got. When we were going to our ADR at Chefs de France, you had no tokens.
I think there are only, right now, I came home with a total of 4 tokens.
Which
and I
means some
know
people probably missed
didn't
out.
get them.
He
So,
had to have
I-
more than 58 people.
so
Had to have.
yeah. Tokens will be coming for those who didn't get. I just don't have a timeline right now.
I'm more impressed with the fact that we invaded England.
Oh, it was bad.
It was pretty
It-
easy,
it was-
honestly.
It was easy and bad.
It was very bad.
And then we took over the festival center.
We didn't really invade. We were there to support.
No, we
You know,
invaded.
because they've supported us so many times.
Oh no, we invaded.
Yep.
That was a flat out. We took over,
Yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah.
and that.
Well, what'd you have to drink there? Or did you have something to eat?
I began McAllen flight because I wanted to get real blitzed at 12 o'clock in the hot
That
sun
is best budget flight drink thing on property, man.
without question. And I have to give a shout out to the bartender in the Rose and Crown who did a nice top off on the 18. It was a good time. And then I had a harp, and then it gets a little fuzzy from there.
So I stopped. We came in through the front entrance, so we admired the new entrance area before Spaceship Earth. And Adam took fancy pictures where he was like hunched down and like using the wall of a fountain as his camera rest. And
He was just
Yeah,
trying
those
to hold
pictures came
himself
out
up.
freaking
those
awesome,
pictures,
though.
dude, those pictures came out amazing. So we headed up the Canada side. I wanted to hit a couple festival booths, so I hit, Honey Bistro, and I forget what all I got. I got the strawberry mousse, which was really good with the white chocolate pearls in it. The pork belly was really good with the coconut key lime ale. So I ended up carrying my key lime ale into England and really, really classing things up. The pork belly was awesome though from that. I forget what booth it was because I only hit like 4 of them. Out of
Yeah, I
my
didn't
list of
hit
like 20
many.
things I wanted to eat, I had 5 things.
What was our only really day in Epcot too? So there was that.
Yep. It was. We didn't go back. We figured we'd hop to
Oh,
Epcot most days, and we just
I
didn't.
had plans to do other things, but
Alcohol inhibited.
well, no, in the bad influence inhibited a few times too.
That's fair. So what? Friday. Well, can we move on to the next day, or we still want to revisit?
I mean, if you're asking me what I drank and ate, there are pictures of me having a Grand Mariner slush that I don't remember drinking.
Well, we went to the we went to the festival pavilion, right between Canada and the UK, and we did the
Oh yes,
the
I do
burnt
remember
ends and
that.
pork belly slider with the sausage and the pickle on top.
That's
and
always good though.
some people had several of the
The frozen.
the frozen moonshine.
Oh,
Firefly
I think
Moonshine
I might have had
lemonade.
A few of those.
There were
You
a
think
lot
you
of
might have
those.
had?
I don't
I
remember. I'm
can
gonna be
confirm.
honest.
Can confirm you had at least 2.
I second. I was.
Tim,
Yeah.
Tim, can you get me another one of these?
Did I really do?
Oh yes, you did.
Yeah.
Can you feel my
Thank you, sir. May I have some more?
Please, may I have some more?
Oh, I do. No, we should talk about. So we went back
And
to
then-
the room.
Then we did the Grand Marnier and Citron slushes
Okay.
before Chefs of France.
Which
Yes.
also included us being
Oh,
yelled
yes.
at because somebody decided to chase
This was
squirrel.
this was the start of the John Gambaro downslide.
Yes.
So, to preface this, the cast member at the GMS booth was not. I think it was not going well, and
She
we're
was
all
straight up not having a good time.
Yeah, it was bad, and so
Probably didn't
we're
help.
You didn't
20
ask
people-
her for a floater.
20
or
people
an-
went through and asked her for Grand Marnier slushes and Citron slushes
Oh.
with floaters.
Oh,
and then apparently we
Oh.
were being corrected because we were ordering the wrong beverage because the floater is a different item.
it is.
it's
It's
the Lejeune.
It's Lejeune. Trust me, Tim tries to make me say it all the damn time.
So can you get a Lejeune with a floater?
That is the drink with the floater.
No. Give me a floater on my Lejeune.
Do you want a triple?
I don't think I
It's
needed
a
a
beer.
triple.
It'd have been trip in.
Triple double?
Double.
So-
Oh,
so
that was the
we're all
worst meal
just-
we've had.
You were saying that.
So before Chefs of France, the squirrel comes out, right? And the squirrel's like, "You got anything? You got anything? You got anything?" And John tried to approach the squirrel and create a
Moment.
Sleeping Beauty friendship with the animals. And the woman that served all of us our drink said, "Don't touch the squirrels. They haven't had the shots."
No.
John Gambaro looks at her and says, "Well, I've had mine."
About right.
And then he turned around and walked away.
Yeah, and not to
But
mention,
this-
like, the people behind us were feeding the squirrel their
Right.
ice cream.
The dude had an ice cream cone, and the squirrel was like trying to get all up in the dude's business, right?
Trying to get all up on
They
that
haven't
cone.
had their shots.
But yeah, and then we had the Chefs of France, and everyone else.
No, then we went to
directions.
America and the spillage happened.
Poor Adam.
You're right. I forgot
Poor
about
Adam's
America.
face right now. You see, Steven says, and we went to America, and Adam's face bugs out, and he's like, "We what?"
No,
I
don't
forgot
remember.
about America.
No idea.
Yeah, the Pagano sticky incident.
Yeah,
Was it super sticky fudge?
Will
Like
Will
like
knocked over
22%?
half of his. He had half a drink, and he knocked that over, and then he knocked over somebody's
I
full
thought that was
drink.
at dinner.
Nope. No, that was
So that
America.
Tim knocked over
Tim
the
knocked
glass
over
of
the
wine.
wine
We
glass
didn't
at dinner.
see the. I don't remember if we
What
saw the
the
Pagano incident.
I did not see it.
No, that was
no.
that was
I
when
think it may
we
have been
were
after
at.
we left.
But we were at dinner at that point when that happened, which was kind of, I think, one of the worst meals I've ever had in Epcot.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed for the price point.
Yeah,
I mean,
it just wasn't
my-
good.
I know you guys were not happy with the beef.
The
my-
what?
Yeah, my beef tenderloin was actually pretty good, but
Can you say
for
that
the
again,
price,
Kate Smith?
the beef.
Bourguignon?
Sounds like it may have had a hair in it, the way you're
It
pronouncing
just
it.
wasn't good. It was very disappointing.
It was.
They-
I think Tim said it was like overcooked and kind of tough.
I didn't finish it. For me not to finish food, y'all know I eat like a garbage disposal.
Uh-huh.
And for me not to finish food, it really has to be bad. And it just wasn't good. It just was
The beef
disappointing.
tenderloin was very good. I know Jen said the French onion soup was good. Trying to think what else I had there. Oh, I had the mini charcuterie board, which was very underwhelming. Again, for the price point, like
Yeah.
I could have spent that money at Baseline and gotten a much better charcuterie
I could have
board.
spent it just hopping around the booths and had a better time.
For sure.
So we won't be going back.
But Tim did knock over a wine glass and spill it all over me and Jen.
No, it would have broke.
Oh yeah, the glass broke on.
Yeah,
Yep,
it wasn't
definitely.
like just knocked over gently. No, the whole thing just shattered.
Yeah, oh,
Did
yeah.
it have
Y'all
air
were some
time?
fucking toddlers.
No, I don't know how
No,
it
there was no airtime. It didn't like flip or anything. It just tipped over and
slammed it.
I mean, it literally was like jagged around the side, but it was
Yeah.
almost just 2 pieces of glass.
So while they were at dinner, we went to Italy, and this is the moment when the random dude who we asked to take our photo as a group, we thought he was faking it in taking selfies with the Pagano kids, but no, he was being full-on creeper and took multiple selfies on my cell phone of him with the Pagano children.
They are on the page too if you're interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's on your phone, so he doesn't
Yeah,
have access to it. So
It's not really
not really
being a
creeper.
creeper. It's like I'm.
that's just kind of like, okay, we'll have some fun, and this guy will be surprised. You
It was
know,
more like
that's
photo
fine.
bombing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hey, you pays your money, you takes your chances. You know, you hand your phone to a stranger, you get what you get. You don't throw a fit.
It's like the person who leaves their iPhone and goes to the bathroom. Everybody knows that you can access the camera. All bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
fair. I just will never forget Will's reaction when he saw it. He was like, "What is this guy doing with my kids?"
Well, and that's
Well,
what all of us were like, who's that
Who's
guy
that?
with
Do we know
Pagano's
him?
kids? Like, is he a cheater? Nope. Just a rando. Total rando.
So
Maybe he needs to teach his kids a bit about the stranger danger.
I mean, not jumping the gun, but there is a hashtag just kidnapped Billy Pagano moment coming up later in the script.
oh yeah, that's true too.
I don't have those show notes.
Hey,
Okay,
and
We
so
make
confirm.
it back to the room, and this is where I did my classic move of the week. I think actually, John and Heather Gambaro came up, and we continued to drink. And it's about 9:30, and I just decide to literally face plant in the bed and go to sleep.
Yeah, Adam literally,
that
like,
is
we were
classic Adam.
holding conversations, and Adam walked in the bedroom, and all of a sudden, Heather goes, "Is he sleeping?" He was not just laying down, resting his eyes.
Oh no, I was done.
And immediately, Tim turns into mom mode. Oh, he's got to take his contacts out. And he's like, "Hey, go take your contacts out." I don't wanna.
The thing that did it is he actually turned around and threatened me. I'm going to wake you up every 5 minutes until you take your contacts out. That's it. I jumped right up and took
Was that the night that we tasted that really, really terrible
Yes.
jet fuel?
Yes, it was. And we had more.
Oh.
Yes. I think that was actually. I think that was pre-gaming. I think that was I think that was our first drink when we got there.
Was that before we went to Epcot?
Yeah.
If it was the first drink we had, I'm glad it was that, because anything after that was a high point.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
could have straight
probably-
drank gasoline and it would have not burned as much as that Chattanooga fire or whatever the hell it was called. It was
Did-
awful. And everybody's like, "Oh, just drink it, pussy." And meanwhile, everybody else is like,
No, I didn't say it. I'm like, this is me and you were both
"No,
sitting on the couch.
you and Tim and James, all of
No,
you."
James and Tim were going in on you. I'm like, I don't like this, and I
And
said
then-
that to you,
And then you looked at me and were like, let's go, let's shoot it.
and we tried to.
I shot mine, and you shot, I think, most of yours.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
And then I
good.
was like, "What? Y'all wanted to shoot it, and I'm the only idiot that did it."
Well, there you go.
But I mean, it got rid of it, which was my favorite
was
thing
Lesson
about it.
learned.
That was my favorite thing about the whole trip.
Steven, did you ever get a chance to have any of that?
Let's get rid of that whiskey.
I did not, but my Thursday night debauchery continued with Chris Carter.
I'm sorry. So what you
Mr.
need
Bad
to say.
Influence.
And we had a great time. And then we decided it was time to go to bed. So I think I
I
prevented.
think you skipped a whole lot.
I mean,
We had a great time, and then it's time to go to
Okay,
bed.
it's up to whoever can remember what happened.
Yeah, I remember leaving.
Chris, call the hotline next episode. We'll have an update.
Yeah,
Because
I remember
he
leaving.
remembers everything because
Yeah.
he was sober the whole time somehow. Imagine.
Oh no, he wasn't. The one morning he was hurting.
That was Saturday. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I just didn't remember which day it was.
We're not there yet.
I remember being really happy to go to bed. And we had texted Adam and
Oh,
Tim
yeah.
when we had arrived at Kadani, and it was very evident that they were out.
That's
No,
right.
well, it was. I mean, to be fair, we were up since 3:00 in the morning, and I just once I hit a wall, I know I have to put myself to bed, and that's exactly what I did.
Mm-hmm. So I think we can officially move into Friday at this point. So I had set an alarm for like 6:58 to try and get boarding groups. We made sure we were all
Oh, you
linked with
fuck.
the Paganos. Like, I wasn't going to talk about that, but just because you did that, now I remembered. So I get out of bed, right?
No,
and I'm
well,
on vacation with
here we
other
are.
people, so I sleep clothed where normally I'd sleep in, boxers or whatever. So I open like the darkening curtains, and the sheer curtains are there, and I see Adam on the balcony, and I wait until Adam is directly in front of me, and I fling the curtains open.
And I almost throw my phone off the back. And he's literally scared the shit out of me because I didn't hear any. I was up for like a good. I took a shower.
Yeah, you were up for a minute.
I was up for like a good hour and a half because I fell asleep at 9:30. So I
So
got
none
up.
of us got boarding groups, and then Tim comes out and says, "Oh, Stephen Cohen's on his way over with a bottle of something." And then like 10 minutes later, like no change, right? And Tim's like, "Oh, he sent this at 11 o'clock last night." We were all already passed out. I was like, "Wait a minute, where is he staying? Like, was he able to get here and get back to his
I'm
room?"
just casually walking over from Pop at 6 in the morning,
With a bottle of booze in a brown paper bag.
Stranger things have been known to happen with this group.
Accurate.
So I
That was
got a
Epcot. No,
I
that
got a
was
boarding
Hollywood
group.
Studios.
Yeah, you and
Yeah.
Carly and Alicia and Aaron.
Well, I think
Who
we
else
screwed
was
up.
there?
Todd did it wrong.
No. We screwed up because I think we had like 15 people that were all trying to get a boarding group at the same time.
Well, we had the 4 Paganos and the 5 of us. So we had
And then-
9 people, and at least 3 of us were trying to get boarding groups. And
Right,
literally, I mean, I'm talking, I was refreshing
no.
at 6:59, and as soon as it said join, I hit it, I hit go, and it said there's something wrong, and then I clicked back, and it said boarding groups are full. I'm not exaggerating when I say it was less than 10 seconds. It was probably less than 5 seconds.
I'm blaming Todd for me not getting it because I almost threw my phone.
Worth
damn
it.
it.
Totally worth it.
But even with that, like Brian was having it never even showed Brian that they were full. There was never an option.
That's what I got.
And I got it. And being that this was a sheet up, it is quite apropos that one of the groups got group 69.
There were a bunch of cheaters that ended up getting it, though. I want to say Carly got it as well.
Yeah, Carly was in the
They were all part of that.
They
Your
were
group,
the-
right? Steven?
No, they
No,
were
that was a separate
later.
group.
So we had me and Brian, Amy Olds and her husband, and then the Gambaros, and then the Gambaros were able to swap in Tim and Ab.
Oh, right,
Yes.
because they had his cousin and his cousin's wife or
So
girlfriend.
that was a fantastic way for me to pop my rides charity.
Oh, such a good ride. So I didn't get to ride it this trip, and
In a 69.
I don't even think I rode 2 attractions in the whole park. In the first 2 days, the only 2 attractions I ended up riding were Mickey's Runaway Railway and Rise. That was it.
yeah, and we like when we didn't get the boarding group, we were kind of like, fuck it, like there's no reason to rush to the park. We don't have to be there for a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I loved it. Like my biggest takeaway from this trip is, so we were there. We landed Thursday midday, left Monday afternoon. I rode 5 rides the entire trip, but at no point, like the only alarm I had set was to try and get a boarding group on Friday. And I didn't feel rushed. I didn't feel like there was deadlines. And, God bless my wife. She is a planner through and through. It was so nice to just, like, not care. It's like, when do you want to go to the parks? Whenever we get around. And that's what we did. We got to the parks, we went and we rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And I know Tim and I think it was my third time riding it. And Tim and I were trying to find Pluto in every scene because, Pluto's carrying the picnic basket trying to catch up to Mickey and Minnie for their picnic. And so we were like, I think Tim was behind me and we were, pointing it out to each other when we would see it. And then from there, we didn't have a boarding group. I think we went to Baseline because our lightsaber build wasn't until 2:00.
No, we had a 10 o'clock at...
at Oga's, that's right.
We had Oga's, which begins my next downfall.
Which was the first time I ever sat in one of the alcoves and got to, like, sit at a table instead of stand up at a wooden plank like a peasant. And you and James got the fuzzy tauntaun?
Yes.
And had funky mouth disease there for a little bit?
Yes. James hated that drink because of the way it made his tongue feel. I thought it was funny. But I also had the jet fuel.
Mm.
And then I had a nice buzz.
I paced myself. I only had one beer there.
I started my morning at Smuggler's.
Yeah, you guys rode like 3 times in a row, didn't you?
We got on... I think the moral of the story is with park reservations and no early magic hours is that they really are opening things early.
Well, no.
And so,
Resort guests can get in an hour before
you
posted.
You can get in an hour early.
Posted opening time is 9, resort guests get in at 8.
So we rode Smugglers 3 times in an hour. We walked on 3 times.
And again, go ahead.
Yeah, and when we walked off the 3rd time, it was a 65-minute wait.
Yeah. And Tim and I had talked, and we were like, "Oh, he's like, I want to try and do Smugglers because there's apparently like a quote unquote hack where Chewbacca comes out instead of Hondo."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and we had talked about it, and then we just didn't do it, and I like
because
wasn't
the line was
about
ridiculous.
Yeah, the line was nuts, and
you have to have everybody in that.
Well, and that's the thing is that if you don't have 6 people in your group, you go in as 2. Like Maria and I did it. We went in August for a quick weekend. And it was just the 2 of us, so like we were both pilots, and then the other seats were like automated or autopilot kind of thing. But yeah, it was like the line was ridiculous, and we were just like, "Fuck this!" And I'm not upset. I've done the ride. I would have loved to have ridden Rise again, but I wasn't upset that I didn't get to do it. I've done it 3 or 4 times. Yeah, like we did Oga's, and then I went to Baseline, and me and James, I think, waited at Baseline. And you guys went to, where did you guys go?
You asked the wrong.
No, we went to, we ended up getting pre-orders. We started ordering food.
We got lunch at Woody's.
So we got lunch at Woody's, where we found out that you can order drinks and get them delivered quicker if you go up to the guy in the booth. You can double park as long as you have 4 adults.
Mm-hmm.
That's my clearest takeaway.
2 drinks per person.
Yeah, no, so 1 drink per person.
I think it's 2.
Nope, it's 1.
No, we had to. I did an ID for the Gambaros.
Yeah, it's 1 drink per person. In order to double park, you have to have 4 adults there with ID.
Well, I know James and I waited at Baseline, and then somebody else said, like, oh, they went to Woody's and got something, but the wait was really long. So I think that's when I put our order in. So at 11 o'clock, I ordered at Woody's Lunchbox for a 1:05 pickup was the earliest pickup I could get. So again, I think
waited that long.
It was pretty close. Because once I got there and said, hey, we're here, it was, another 10 minutes. But
no,
again,
but we were already sitting and eating at that point.
I think pretty close, yeah. But I think that led to our downfall too, is because we had, a bagel in the room, and then we drank maliciously until we got food at 1 o'clock.
Never.
And I only ordered tachos, right? I remember looking at my order, and it was like adult lemonade, adult lemonade, adult lemonade, adult lemonade, adult lemonade. 2 orders of tachos, the grilled cheese, the brisket.
Oh wait, no. So you ordered all that?
Yeah.
Where the hell did we do?
I don't remember where you guys went. James and I definitely went to Baseline. because we ended up running into.
Oh, you went on Rise, Adam. You went on Rise. with
Yes,
us.
you got on Rise with the Collier with the Gamberos,
That's what it was. Okay, that makes sense then.
and James
That's
and I went
when
to
it broke
baseline
down.
because Jen wasn't in the park yet because she was staying back to check emails.
Because that's when it broke
Because somebody
down,
else
because I was
worked
getting
on this vacation other than me, which was also nice.
So for our Rise experience, the actual attraction while we were waiting in the line for it broke down.
Yes.
And that's when I started playing Pokemon. And everybody turned to me, it's like, what are you doing?
Oh, that's
I'm
when you
like-
were sitting on the ground.
Yes, I was sitting on the ground playing Pokemon, as one does, and it's like, well, it's keeping me quiet and entertained, so you probably just let me be.
Shut up. It's a Diglett, man. Be quiet.
No.
It's a shiny.
Those are
This could be
worthless.
just shiny. Yeah, James and I went to baseline. I think I got a beer, and he got him and Jen a drink because Jen was on her way at that point, and we got a pretzel, and we got that.
Was this when Jen kept on missing the bus?
So we got the steak onion puff
Tart.
pastry thing, which don't skip it if you're thinking about it. Skip it.
I enjoyed
But yeah,
it. the time I had it.
Jen is. So we had our Kadani chat with the Paganos because we were almost across the hall from each other, and Jen is like, I was sitting at the bus stop and the bus went by and it was full because he went right by the bus stop and he didn't stop at all. So the bus was full. And then she said, another bus just went by and it's full. Is the park that crowded? Jen was at the wrong fucking bus stop. Which is why the bus kept going by and was full, because people at the right bus stop were getting on the fucking bus that was stopped. Kadani.
It was one of those trips for all of us at one point or another, though.
We all had our moments.
Oh, yes.
The aha moment.
You could call it that. Or the fuck moment.
Yep. More like the second.
So yeah, then we all grouped up at Woody's. We had our 1 o'clock breakfast. And then we headed back to Savi's for our 2:05 appointment for Sabres. And that's where we mishmashed people because
Yeah.
5 or 6 of us built and you could only take one observer. So like Tim had Matthew, Will had William, you had Sarah Ford, I think, right, Adam?
Yeah.
I didn't have anyone. I didn't build.
I had.
Oh, that's right. You had, so Steven had Sarah Ford. I had Lauren. Chris had Hayden, which is why Lauren wasn't with
And
Chris.
Did Aaron have Carly?
Somebody had Carly. Yeah, Aaron had Carly. And I think those pictures, if they're not out there, I'll post them on the page. But Sarah took some videos and a couple pictures when they had us activate our lightsaber, and that was so I built a lightsaber with Abby. That was one of her Christmas gifts when we went to BSB in September 2019. So I got to experience, and just watching it, because I let her build the entire thing. I gave her no input. She picked what she wanted to do.
You went full Maria.
I did.
you sure did.
I did. I hit I'm moved. You know what? I'm gonna move this microphone.
Did you?
Great. We'll hear about that next
Yep.
week.
That should be fun.
So I did the experience with Maria, or with Abby. Jesus Christ. And honestly, the experience was awesome. So building it this time was cool as well. But I knew what I was getting into, and I was just excited to be back in that room with the scavenger and the whole story behind it and everything.
And if you didn't know, Todd and Tim were separated at birth. Their lightsabers are almost exactly the same, and they weren't even standing near each other.
Two pieces different. We both built the dark saber, the little, I forget what the power and something
something or other.
something, not peace and justice.
Yeah, I did the power one as well, but they built the almost. I'm looking at it and I'm like,
Trossel did the power and justice one.
but his looked totally different.
Yeah, but yeah, Tim and I built damn near same blade color, everything, but the switch and the top piece were the same. And then
So while y'all were doing that, we all went over. The ones who weren't building went over to what the hell's the name of that lounge?
Round Derby.
Round Derby Lounge outside, where we ate. Well, no, we didn't eat. We drank more. Who am I kidding? I had a Schaffen gin, as one does.
I did not have a Schaffen gin in Disney this trip.
I have never had one in general.
They're good.
And the normal
It's really
bartender
good.
at Brown Derby, so the guy that was there when Marie and I went in August was also there in November when we went for buffet. And like I saw him and I was like, you make a bangin' Hendrix and Schaffenhofer, and he made me one, and I got.
They don't make it for you anymore, though.
Got a little extra.
You
pour.
gotta
Now they
order-
put it in 2 separate cups,
Yeah.
but he did in November. He made it in November.
No, I actually had to ask. He actually served it to me in 2 separate cups.
And that's, I think,
Which is
where Reagan invented popcorn water.
Yes, this is when Reagan invented popcorn water. Her experiment.
In the gin cup, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was in my
Mhm.
gin shot cup, where
Yeah.
she just started throwing everything into the cup.
Go ahead, ask me how it tasted. I have no fucking
How did it
idea. I
taste?
have no fucking idea. I wasn't putting
Because
that in
the
my
child
mouth.
was afraid of you at this point.
No, that was at Springs. She wasn't afraid of me at this point. She literally stood next to me at several points and showed me her popcorn water.
She wanted you to drink it. If you would have drank it, she would have always been your friend.
It's because it's before she knew that you're a wizard, Harry. We'll
You're a
get there.
wizard, you domesticated, Barry.
Mikey, you look confused. We'll get there.
This is my default.
Yeah.
The factory restore has been activated, and this is what you get.
So yeah, we were at Brown Derby together by 3 o'clock, 3:30, 3 o'clock ish.
Something like that.
God, it's just
Yeah.
everything you keep saying. It feels like it should be later in the day, but days still.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, I
we
mean,
went
that's all we
hard.
did in the park.
Yeah, we did not do a whole lot.
That's all
I
I
know
did in the park.
some. Were you on were you on Terror with the group, Steven?
Nope.
You guys.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
almost had a full elevator.
We almost had a full elevator. There are some magical photos of Ham essentially being a supermodel. The PhotoPass photographer was immaculate with his styling and his movement of the, like, it felt like you were at a fashion photo shoot. And then we almost had a full elevator. We were surprised they actually added a group. There were 10 of us. But we did our little dinosaur T-Rex arms, and most of us were wearing our Rise of the Sheet Up shirts.
So what else?
Finding
What
Nemo.
do we have Friday?
Springs.
We went to
So you
Springs
left
on Friday.
You left Hollywood and went to Springs, or what did you do after Hollywood?
I don't think
I
we
don't,
did anything.
I don't think we went to Springs.
Did we? Was that
Just
when we headed
adjourned to the
pool?
room for a quiet night.
Yeah, we did. We went to the pool.
And we hung it at the pool for a bit. Was that day or the day after?
No, we did go to Springs. We did go to Springs on Friday.
No, I know we ended up there, but I don't know if we went back to the room first or we just headed straight to Springs.
We headed straight to Spring.
No, we
Well,
didn't. We had.
We did. We
go
hung
back to
out.
the pool.
We hung out. We went to the room, hung out at the pool for a little bit, went back,
because there were more. I know you're shocked. There were more drinks at the pool.
and James got a hot dog.
James and Tim got a hot dog as well.
Oh yeah.
James, that fool loves him a hot dog. Just a simple hot dog.
Yeah,
I think he got a chili dog.
that I don't remember.
Oh, well, look at that bougie motherfucker.
I don't remember.
I
He,
wasn't
he
there.
housed it. He ate it the long way. Speaking of hot dogs, we went to Springs then, and Tim and Adam got some sausage.
Yeah, that was some good shit. They had a poutine hot dog.
A wahoo? A what?
Not a poutine. I almost went to the poutine. Because the poutine booth was right over there too. But then we saw the hot dog booth, and they had a Mardi Gras hot dog, which was a spicy sausage with crawfish and all this other crap on top of it. It was
Oh, shit,
so
yeah.
good.
Oh, is that the one you got? I didn't think you
Yes,
got that.
it was.
Was it like andouille sausage?
Yes, it was.
Yep.
It was really good.
And then we kind of worked our way towards, I think, did we stop anywhere before we got to Splitsville?
I don't think anything was really open yet because it was still kind of early-ish. And Springs has very weird times where
I mean, it
everything
was
starts
like
opening.
4:30 or 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
By the time we got there.
Yeah, but like I'm talking about like this, the outside bars don't open right away.
But
So,
ultimately, Friday night was our Hot Ones thing that was planned. And we ended up not doing Chicken Guy. And we skipped the food trucks that Tim wanted to go to, and we met everybody at Splitsville. And there was a large table of people at Splitsville with 3 smaller tables wondering how the hell they got stuck next to the slot.
And why are they here?
People.
And how much they hate their life for being here right now? Because
And as those 3 tables cleared out, we quickly swooped in to establish dominance.
as cheaters do
As cheaters do.
in a public area.
And I don't
It all
remember.
started at the Edison.
I drank
no, this
Corona
is-
with lime because it was so hot, and I remember seeing somebody was drinking. Jennifer Thacker had a Corona with lime, and I was like, "That's what I want." And I had 2 Coronas with lime, and I housed an entire Hawaiian pizza, and I got shit from Kelly and Bryce Burke, and I think one other person gave me shit about having a Hawaiian pizza, despite the
Couldn't tell
fact that pineapple 100% belongs on pizza.
Not all pizza. Only with Canadian bacon, brown
Yeah,
sugar, and
I
cherries.
mean a Hawaiian pizza. Cherries. What the fuck? Cherries? Who puts cherries on? I've never seen
Cherry
cherry.
tomatoes.
No, fucking cherries.
The
That's how.
fuck? Alright, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah.
Night,
Yeah, I've
Todd.
never had cherries on pizza.
No, absolutely not.
No?
No.
Try it sometime.
I'm intrigued.
Make your.
I want
It's basically an upside down cake with some Canadian bacon.
pineapple upside down cake with Canadian bacon.
All right, so you didn't do the hot sauce challenge.
I did not because there was no room at the inn. I was
That
not.
was such a fucking lie.
I was not. No,
He is.
there were no seats at that table because you were like, "Oh, are we doing the hot sauce?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I pointed at the table, and nobody brought me anything.
Bitch, who the fuck do you think you are? We're gonna serve you?
I am the editor in chief and first husband. I'm getting the death stare. I love it.
That should mean what? Hey, Todd, fuck you.
This was John Gambaro's second downfall. And,
Oh, yeah.
and probably the most prolific of
But
all
we have
of them.
to talk about the challenge a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll let you take the reins because I was too busy.
Let Steven talk for a
Too busy
minute.
I
He's
housing
wasn't
here.
the
there.
pizza.
I mean,
He wasn't there.
we went
Oh.
to Topolino's for dinner.
Mm.
Well, that sounds classy.
I don't know. We're already talking about makes sense. Let's do the hot ones.
Talk to hot sauce.
So James and Jen, in all their wisdoms, if you ever watch there's a YouTube thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's I can't remember the name of the channel, but it's the Hot
Hot
Ones
Ones.
Challenge.
Yeah.
And basically, what they do, they have stars on, and they get interviewed, and there's I think 7 or 8 sauces.
Yeah, sounds about right.
No, there are 8. I'm sorry, there are 8 or 9 sauces.
We were watching
Only
them
so-
Wednesday night while we were drinking our
Yeah.
Silverado wine in preparation for going to Disney.
Because we didn't know what we were in for, and it got interesting. Because
For
the
some
first-
more than others.
the first, I want to say 5 were pretty good. And
That's
then
where they
we
get ya.
all kind of blew out our taste buds on number 6.
Was that the bomb?
No, bomb was number 7. The bomb
Oh.
was after that. Whatever the hell number 6 was, it took almost everybody out.
Was it the mustard one?
Sure. I don't remember the
I
name
remember
of
them
it.
going live in the hotel room.
We're like
You know,
9 drinks in at
preempting it.
this point.
Yeah, I just remember the bomb because I remember the shape of the bottle, because they do different ones every season.
Hmm.
So every season they have almost a totally different lineup of sauces. So it's hard to. I just remember the bomb's supposed to be the worst one. It wasn't. It
It's
was
always
whatever
like
number.
on the show, it's always the third from the last.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and that one is always there every season.
Yeah.
They've always got the bomb in
Right.
there.
it wasn't this one. It was whatever the one that was before the bomb was just disgusting, and it kind of blew everybody else's taste buds out, except for one, John Gambaro, who actually started licking the hot sauce off the plate, and then proceeded to drink a whole thing of ranch dressing after it.
You know how you met my son, Boston? That's not unheard of,
The
really.
licking hot sauce off a plate?
No, the drinking ranch.
No, this was after licking a whole bunch of hot sauce.
You're also talking about a teenager
yes.
versus a grown ass man
Versus a first
with
responder.
better decision making. Well,
Well, at this point, there were no
Allegedly.
decisions making.
allegedly,
Every decision was bad at this point.
there were decisions made. None of them were the right ones.
Yes.
You have 2 paths, and he takes the one most trampled.
So before we get into the rest of the night, we'll throw to Steven and his Topolino.
So we went to Topolino's. It was my first time doing a Disney fine dining experience, which was quite wonderful.
I heard you were underdressed for the occasion.
Yes.
Both of you.
Not calling
Brian-
anyone out, but
Brian and I were supremely underdressed.
4 of the 6 attendees were in sundresses, and 2 were not.
Yeah, I rolled up in
Oh,
shorts
you would have
and a
looked so
t-shirt.
nice in a sundress.
Agreed. As long
I
as it wasn't
tried.
pastel. Pastel, I think, would clash with your tone.
Flowers
Yeah.
would be nice, like nice flowers. I see flowers.
Something frilly.
Could I go for like a paisley?
No, it has to be flowers. I see roses, like roses.
Yeah,
nice,
so
pretty roses.
shorts and a t-shirt for that one. Yeah.
Now, were you underdressed compared to all the other patrons or
Yes.
just your group?
Definitely, probably was all
I
the
would
other
say
patrons.
like 95%.
Okay.
The other
You were the
5%
you were the 5th percentile.
The other
Good for you.
5% were children.
And infants in
He's
diapers.
not wrong. Yeah. I didn't think to myself, oh, we're gonna have nice dinner. Nope.
Yeah, you just called it fine dining.
It wasn't on my original agenda. It was one of those last-minute reservations that popped up in ADR. And I wouldn't call it that advanced because it was like 3 hours before.
That's advanced.
It's less than 1 hour.
But that
Best the job
dinner.
you want, Stephen.
Thank you. Thanks, Mikey. That dinner was amazing. We got the gnocchi and the ricotta, and then for the main dishes we did the steak, the risotto, and the rigatoni. There were 2 orders of the risotto, actually. The beverages were incredible. We highly recommend that if you go, you ask for Christopher as your server,
Who is now a cheater, correct?
who is now a sheeter. And I'm sure Mikey has an extra surprise from Christopher for later, so I'll just leave it at that. And but it was really an incredible experience, and it was Disney dining at its finest. Outside of probably a trip to V&A's.
And what'd you have to drink there? That had quite the I don't know how to call it, performance to pour it.
Yeah, I went hard for the Macallan 25. It's not something that's often found in restaurants, and Disney really did well at that bar, and we decided to ask for table service to be extra bougie and extra cheater during that. I believe it pretty much looks like I'm having an orgasm when I have my first drink. The video can be found on the page.
I bet I didn't watch that much of the video.
Yeah, I was just saying. I don't know if I need to see your O face.
I remember watching the pour. I remember the pour was very fancy. They brought the ice bucket out and they put the plank on it and the glass in the bottle, and it was very impressive. I'm not gonna lie. It was, at Whispering Canyon, they just pour that shit in a fucking glass and hand it to you like you're the fuck you go.
Well,
This was very, very nice
there's a little
presentation.
bit of a difference of level between Whispering
You think?
Canyon and one would think. I don't think I'd call Whispering Canyon anywhere near fine dining.
So, moral of the story is, dinner was amazing, and
Check your pockets before you leave.
check your pockets before you leave.
Spoiler alert.
And then we get to Saturday and the downfall of Stephen.
Oh no, the Saturday was another downfall where I have a whole blackout period, and that's also thanks to the bad influence.
Saturday was my heavy ride day.
You too?
We again woke up with no agenda. Hey, what time do we want to get to Magic Kingdom? Whenever the fuck we get there.
It ain't going
And
anywhere.
we went.
Exactly.
We came up with a game plan, and we said, hey, we'll go to Jungle Cruise, and we'll get on that, and then we'll go to Pirates, and we'll go to Mansion. Jungle Cruise was like a 50-minute wait, I think, when we walked by. So
I think so.
Adam was
And
like,
then we ran into Steven.
Adam said, fuck that, I'm not waiting. And then we went to Pirates, where I think we ran into everybody.
No, yeah.
Because I
And
think
then
we ran into Steven after Pirates.
No, we were
because
on
we all
Pirates
rode
We were all on the
Pirates
same
together.
We found you by Skippers, which is where one of my weekend nicknames commenced.
So we rode Pirates, and I was in like the third or fourth
Was
row.
that Hawkings at that point?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
that one. Yeah, that was Hawkins.
That was where he had the ECV that went slow and slower.
Yes.
Because I was like,
Did you
dude, you
find
need to
that
crank
in
that
the
thing
parking
up.
lot as well?
No,
No,
well,
no.
at one point, Tim turned around and told him, give me 20 minutes and a screwdriver and we'll make that thing go faster.
and verbatim, Todd's not kidding. The cast member who assisted me with it said, "This is your speed control. It's slow and slow."
He
It
turned
was-
it down, and like, I could moonwalk faster than that thing was going. And I can't moonwalk very
Yeah,
well.
so that's Hawkins. So then we did Pirates.
And then you had a DAS pass then because of your
Yeah,
unbeknownst to you broken foot.
unbeknownst to me, broken foot, and I have to thank Brian G for forcing me to get it, because honestly, I think had I walked on my foot in Magic Kingdom, we probably would have had to take a trip to the hospital.
And I will say, we've met a lot of cheaters, and a lot of cheaters go, I guess, above and beyond, if you want to call it that. But Brian lives about 45 minutes from the world, towards Tampa, and just a fantastic individual. I mean, I really want to give him
Yeah,
a
he's
shout
an
out.
awesome guy.
He was a fantastic person. I mean, one of the most genuine people that I've met in the group. Yeah, so he talked you into that, and you did the DAS Pass thing, and for those that don't know, a DAS Pass is a, I forget what the acronym is, but it's
That's good. Disney accessibility. It's the Disney accessibility. I can't say that word right
accessibility
now. Yes, pass.
Service.
So
I
you
don't
can have
know.
up to 6 people on it, I think, because we had one in November for Mamo, Trader Shan's grandmother. So you can have 6 people on a DAS, up to 6 people on a DAS Pass, I think, and the cast member let like all 10 of us on Jungle Cruise.
They usually do.
Yeah,
And our skipper on Jungle Cruise
Was amazing. Yes.
oh my god.
it was new material for
funny.
the first time in forever.
Well, there were some blatant things missing too. I mean,
Fair.
the guys on the pole are already gone,
Mm-hmm.
and Trader Sam is missing.
But how funny would it have been if they'd have just kept it? That would have been part of the shtick.
The thing that I don't get is that the headhunters are still there.
Yeah.
And I find that a little more I find that a little worse than what they had going on with Trader Sam, or even the guys on the pole with the corny joke. I mean, it's more of an inaccurate representation than anything, I think.
Right. But somebody also said that they're incorporating the Adventurers Club into that scene,
Yes.
where the guys,
well,
the
into
3 guys on the
whole
pole.
attraction.
Yeah.
No, into the whole attraction, they're going to make it more themed around the Adventurers Club. Also, probably to fit in a little bit better with Skipper's Canteen.
Yeah. Which makes sense. And then, so after Jungle Cruise, we did get, our skipper was fantastic on Jungle Cruise. Like, no kidding. Like, I heard material that I haven't heard before, and I've ridden that ride a dozen times.
Only
Steven, you have the floor.
He raised his hand so
Oh.
elegantly.
No,
Yes, he did.
I'm just thinking about what order we went in after that.
okay.
think-
So this is where I want to say we split up,
Oh, we all did Haunted Mansion,
We did
didn't
Haunted.
right? But right after Haunted, we split up,
Right.
Yes, some of us went to Splash.
Mm-hmm.
We did
and
Big
some of
Thunder
y'all
and
went to go
Splash.
get food.
And it was Carly's first time on Splash Mountain.
Yay.
And I made Adam sit in the front row.
Because so there's a little bit of a story that goes along with this. I don't get to ride this attraction all that often because Tim hates it with the passion. It's his least favorite ride. So we all get on it, and the cars can comfortably fit 8 people. We had 9.
Keyword, comfortably.
So it took a few minutes of us all kind of, like the last few of us who were further back in the line, it was me and Steven who were the last 2 to get on the boat. So, I was being nice, and I'm like, Steven, why don't you get in the front? And he said no. So I hop in the front next to Alicia, and Steven still tried to get in the back of the boat.
Wasn't happening.
So, I want to say you and Sarah rode separate.
Yep.
And I became a block for Brian, who said I have a new job as a water blocker from preventing him from getting wet.
And meanwhile, when they only put Sarah and I in a raft, and so it didn't matter where you were in that boat,
You got all of it.
because you got all of it, and I took it in the face.
And while you guys did that, Tim and I went to Sleepy Hollow, and I got the spicy chicken waffle because it's amazing.
And then,
Then we did Thunder Mountain.
yep. And then we went to
Lunch.
lunch, and then we went to
Everybody,
Skipper's.
there were a few people who broke off and went their separate ways, and y'all had a later Skippers. Then me, Tanya, and I think Jen went and did the treehouse.
That was before Skippers.
That was while we were waiting
Yep.
for Skippers,
Yep.
really, because we needed to get our exercise rings closed.
Oh my goodness. Jen
It was a
is
concern.
compulsive with that.
Not as much as Tanya.
Correct.
Trust me, there were cheaters that had their activity on the entire time.
I did not, because I did not close my activity ring except for one day.
Say
2
nobody,
days.
nobody was spiteful that people were cheating,
No,
except him.
it just
Except him.
no. Tim was cheating too, so he can't say anything.
You said it, not me.
It is what it is.
So we did. We ended up
So-
doing Skippers, and who
I
was,
like Skippers.
who was on
The
your
food was
reservation?
really good.
Steven, it was you and Brian and Russell.
Chris and Ruskell.
Chris Carter and Russell Lawrence. Yep. No, there was a picture of the back of my head sitting at the table because somebody was complaining about the rowdy group.
We were rowdy. We had the guy that just kept on talking to me in Spanish for some unknown reason. The food runner just came up to me and started babbling away in Spanish, and I'm just looking at him and laughing because I have no idea what he's saying. We also had a glass of Miami tea in the park, so that was going on. But I mean, I always have food. The food there is good to me.
It was my first time there. It's
So what
it's
y'all
one of,
think?
it's one of those restaurants that we always put on the list, and we end up not going to it because we go to Sleepy Hollow or we grab something here. We go to Pecos Bills. Like we always end up eating something somewhere that we don't do a sit down, even though it's the only place in the park you can get booze. No, I thought the food was pretty good. I was
Aha, you can also get booze at
You can get booze at any sit-down meal in the
yeah.
park.
So
Eat
shit.
Crystal Palace has booze.
Yes.
yep. As a matter of fact, they've got Disney Family Wines.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they've got the Gooby or whatever it's called.
I think I've only eaten there for breakfast, which probably is why I've never had wine.
Well, it's
Well, you're doing that
relatively
wrong
new.
too, Todd.
Well, I had my kids, so you're right.
They'll do
You're
that
You're really
right.
wrong.
making a case against it here.
Probably more of a
You had your kids during the
Yeah,
one of the meetup that
let's
didn't stop you
not-
from drinking.
Let's not talk about it. I got in enough
Why?
trouble about that.
So after that, I think again we went back to the resort.
Yeah, I think we split up there. We walked.
Oh no, we didn't.
Some of us.
We did not.
We all walked to the Contemporary. I caught
Yes.
a bus to Hollywood Studios because I couldn't build a droid on Friday because they were so full. So I
And
booked,
this is where my travesty began.
I booked a 3:30 droid appointment for Saturday. So we walked to the Contemporary. I caught a bus. I was the only person on the Hollywood Studios bus. Felt like a rock star. We pull into Hollywood Studios, and the bus driver pulled up on the left side, directly behind another bus. And I was on my phone, doing whatever, and I
Playing Pokemon, I'm sure.
probably. I look up, and the bus driver's standing there, and he takes his mask off, and he takes his hat off, and he turns around, and he says, "Oh, you were so quiet, I forgot you were back here." And I literally said to the guy, like, "If you open the doors, I'll run across. If you won't lose your job, I'll run across the street." He was like, no, I'll pull across. And he literally pulled out of line and into a spot so that I could get out. And I went and did my droid build, which was a lot tougher than when it was. Boston was very decisive and knew what he wanted. I knew I wanted a BB.
He probably researched the hell out of it beforehand.
I knew I wanted a BB droid, but then I was like, oh, what colors do I get? And do I want the black and the red or the black and the white? So I did that, and then I took a Death Bucket tour to CBR, where they have some clear blue skies, and then to Pop, where I caught a bus to Springs, because other people were already at Springs because they caught a bus at the Contemporary to go to Springs. When I asked where they were at the same spot that they were when they got to Springs, an hour and a half before I got there. Adam, do you remember what that place was? Where were you guys
wasn't
at?
there. No, I'm teasing. Well, the whole plan for at least me was I'm gonna get to Springs, do some shopping, and then head out and get back to the resort, clean up for dinner. Yeah, that was a fail because there was a Chris Carter involved.
The wild card.
Yes.
The bad influence.
Can we call him the wild card from now on?
Yes.
Can that be his official nickname?
Yeah, instead of draw four, it's drink four.
Yes, we had a Chris Carter, and then we made it to the Polite Pig, where I don't have an ounce of food, and I can't tell you how many glasses of bourbon I had.
I could probably take a guess.
No, you couldn't, because it never...
Does it rhyme with all of
I wouldn't say my guess would be right, but I could guess.
Well, it's funny because I didn't think I was that much of a bourbon drinker, but I'm looking at this menu, and I've realized I've already had a lot of them. And my whole thing about going to the Polite Pig, I mean, except for the ones that are super expensive, I'm just not in any kind of shape to afford a lot of those. But I'm looking at it, and I'm like, holy crap, I've had a lot of these. So it became a contest of trying to find ones that I haven't had and trying different ones. And we had a lot of fun, and we just were talking and enjoying each other's company. And before you know it, it was 4:00. And I decided to try to take myself back to the resort, and I proceeded to get off the wrong bus stop.
Wait, what?
Were you at the right resort? Just
Yes,
the wrong
I was at
bus
the
stop?
right resort.
Okay.
Because I ended up getting off at Jumbo House, and I had to walk myself over to Kidani, which is not that bad of a walk, but at least I got my move goal completed.
Wait a sec. You
There you
left
go.
the Polite Pig before we didn't go back together?
No.
Adam hit his wall. Todd.
No, because I honestly I promised the kids I would try to get back in time to go to the pool.
That's right. No, I thought
And-
I thought there was a wait list at the pool, and you were like, fuck that, I'm not.
No, the wait list at the pool was at 11, 12 o'clock. In the, it was right after lunch that there was a wait list at the pool.
Because by the time I
And-
got there, it was like 5, and you guys had already been there for an hour and a half-ish.
Oh no, it was much longer than that.
2-ish hours.
It was much longer than that. Because I kept on saying I'm going to get up and go shopping now, and Chris kept on saying, "Oh, have another one." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'll
Because
pick
somebody
up one more.
somebody was coming over, or
No,
I remember because you went to the bathroom and then you came back and you didn't go shopping.
I proceeded to do that multiple times.
I
That
was
wasn't
there
the
at
first
that point.
time. Yes, but that wasn't the first time I tried to leave.
Shit.
That's what I'm.
So Tim and James were drinking. What were they drinking? The sweet wheat.
I
Everything.
wasn't there.
Something. Something sweet wheat.
Yes. Oh yes, the sweet wheat was real good.
And you
um,
and Chris were drinking the Prohibition.
Yes, I like the Prohibition a little bit better than the
I
sweet
like the
wheat.
Prohibition better than the sweet wheat. And I ended up drinking a
and-
beer because I was so hot from sprinting from Magic Kingdom to Hollywood Studios to Springs. And
I
then
remember I got the text message saying that the pool line didn't exist, and that's when I had finally said, all right, I really should try to get back. And then by the time I got back, it was too late for me to go to because we had a dinner reservation.
And James basically gave me shit the entire time about why I was drinking beer at the Blight Pig. And then I tried Angel's Envy for the first time, and I was very pleased with that. I wish I could get it
Angel's Envy's really good.
I wish I could get it for less than $65 a bottle here. It's so expensive in Pennsylvania.
It's gotten that price almost everywhere though, because it got very popular.
Disappointing. It was very good. I liked it.
Meanwhile, I was dead to Todd.
Yes, go ahead. Steal the show, please, by all means.
Why
Well,
did I
is
don't
this-
know
is
this
this-
whole story?
Adam, did you forget where I went?
Don't drop names. No name dropping.
Oh yeah. I don't want to
Go
talk to you either anymore.
Special guest was in town.
I had the privilege of going into Club 33 in Magic Kingdom.
How were you dressed for this one?
Same,
went naked
same as he was
just for
dressed for
fun.
Topolino's.
Same as I was
Probably the
dressed for
same shirt.
Topolino's.
I'm gonna wear my good shorts and
He
t-shirt.
had an ECV though.
Yeah, so they just looked at him like, "Oh, you poor thing."
Once in a lifetime experience. Absolutely incredible. Also, I got my Mickey bar served to me on a plate, which was quite
What the
strange.
fuck?
Oh, I guess because they take it out of I guess they don't want the wrapper around.
No, they put the wrapper on the plate. They put the Mickey bar in the wrapper on a plate.
Up. Are you
That's
kidding
just
me?
strange.
Wait, was it already unwrapped for you?
No, I unwrapped it myself.
That is not worth the price
Absolutely
of
not.
admission.
I would have slapped him in the face with it.
I would have said,
You still do have
where's
to pay for everything there, though, right?
You do still have to pay everything, but the prices in there are actually better than they are in the park.
So they're more like street price than like upsell price.
Yeah, I think it's like, I think they do that because of the cost of the membership, that they just like, they have to make a buck.
No, I
They-
get it.
But
I feel like they made plenty of bucks on the price of the membership.
But it's we were in the bar, which is essentially designed like being inside the Nautilus, which was really cool.
Oh, now
Oh.
you're dead to me.
But I think the highlight of that moment was when I was trying to back the ECV
Oh,
out
God.
of the.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I was doing real good. I wasn't drink yet. I was on the way to drink. But I did crash said ECV into like the door frame.
But
And
nothing
then-
expensive.
Nothing expensive. Just metal door frame.
Missed opportunity.
Well, no, my ECV, it was outside. And then we decided we would try to move it manually, and in the process, I ripped the seat off of the ECV.
Listen here, Banner. What business did you have with a busted fucking foot trying to move a little
no.
scooter car
No,
around?
you have to hear the whole. Oh, it's just a really bad sprain.
Yeah, so
It wasn't
No.
ever busted at this point.
I just tweaked my tendon.
yes,
Yeah,
that was said too, probably.
so we got it moved. I got out. We got out of the park. Then we met you guys. No, then
Okay.
we went to Springs, and then we met you guys at dinner.
Yes, I still don't know how this all went down the way it did.
So
And I still don't quite understand how it all happened. Also, I blacked out at dinner.
So we-
because I decided it would be a good idea before dinner. Oh, I have some time. Drop the bait, like one of the little bath bombs, because I'm addicted to them now, into the bubble tub, and decided to pour myself a healthy glass of gin.
Oh.
So who did you guys have a reservation at Sanaa, Steven?
no, we didn't, but we were told to show up.
So we had Tim and Adam and I and the Goodmans and the Paganos had
Yes.
a reservation at Sanaa. And,
Which we were already over by one person.
right, because the reservation was they will only let us make it for 8, but we had 9 of us because I'm the 9th wheel.
Mm.
But we took a bottle of Fess Parker.
Yes.
You may or may not have remembered when my wife got
No, there were
hammered.
we took 2 bottles to dinner.
I thought Will and Tanya took a bottle, though.
No, we took 2 bottles to dinner.
Okay.
I'm almost positive.
Oh, did we take
took-
one of the birthday bottles from the
I think we
Good
took
Friends?
a white and a red.
Correct.
Because I remember the beginning of dinner, and then halfway through.
We definitely took some Fess, though, because
Buzz.
I took a picture of Tim stabbing himself in the neck.
Yeah,
holding
yeah.
that
Oh,
bottle.
okay, yep.
And then James told... Oh, because Chris Carter was with us, too. So we had 10 of
Yes.
us.
Yes.
And James
Chris-
told
Oh,
Chris...
that was the other problem. Chris came up to the room and we were still continuing to drink.
Yes.
This is.
When Chris Carter's there, you drink.
I drink a lot around him. It's like
He's a terrible
bad. Like,
influence.
it's like really bad though. I don't realize.
He's not even the wild card anymore. I'm just going to call him the redactor because half of Adam's trip has been redacted.
He's pretty much black.
But James told Chris at dinner at Sanaa and just said, order me something you think I'd like. And he ordered him a smoked turkey. And I forget what I was going to get, but I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to get a smoked turkey because it sounds good. And it was, I forget what bourbon was in it, but it definitely had Red Stag in it. And when I was reading that,
It's normally red.
yeah, I
Stag.
was reading that and I was like, that's not a James drink. And he took one sip and said it was terrible. It was too sweet. And then he said to Chris, he's like, why would you order this for me? He's like, oh, it sounded good. He's like, would you drink it? And Chris was like, oh, hell no. And James was like, what the fuck, bro? So
I like them.
I ended up drinking James's his smoked turkey as well as mine. And I
remember having
had a little bit
Bread
of the Fest
service.
because I wanted to try the Fest Parker that my wife got schnockered on one night recording a podcast with some people I know.
No, she didn't. That was all made up. That was an act for the show.
I don't believe it
God.
actually happened.
When
There are no
clothes are
pictures.
strewn about the house, she's drunk.
She normally does that.
No, she doesn't. Ask me how I know.
But I remember
Well,
having appetizers.
I think that's all we
I
ordered.
No, I had an entree. I had a shrimp entree.
Mm.
You guys
It's
got
all-
multiple bread services.
Yes,
We had like
'cause
3 or
that's
4
awesome.
bread services at the table for sure.
And then I had a shrimp entree. And Tim had dessert that he didn't remember having, so I wasn't the only one who blacked out that night.
I don't remember if I had dessert.
And then I almost made everybody cry. Or I did make people cry.
You and I had a thing. It was
Yes.
before we went to the room. Yeah.
And
that
then
was-
the room
yeah.
was a total shit show.
They had a soup too. Their soup of the day, soup du jour, was
I didn't
a lamb, and I was like, I'll never get lamb. And James was like, oh, if you ever get lamb, just get the lamb. Or maybe Jen said it. If you don't get lamb, get the lamb. That soup was fan-fucking-tastic.
The food there is amazing. It's just, it's never a miss.
And that was my first time eating there as well.
and then the Cheetah Tornado.
Oh, this was such a hot mess.
Is this when you woke up the next day trying to figure out who all was in your room?
Yep.
I remember seeing that post, but there was I didn't. I mean, I'll be honest. Trying to keep up with this, from a distance as I did, it was just you couldn't. You honestly couldn't. There was no.
Like you were sad about it, but you were glad you weren't there to.
No, I wasn't sad. No, I'm trying to keep up with it on Facebook, but because the amount of posts from so many people, it was not in chronological order at all. Because somebody would comment on something from one day, and and I'm like, I don't know what's happening down there right now.
It's okay. Half of the time I didn't either, obviously.
I just what I said was, we'll do a recap. I will find out then.
But I think Sunday morning we figured we had 21 people in the room.
No, it wasn't that
That's
many.
illegal.
Because you realized you
I counted
counted
us twice.
us twice.
So we had 16 people in the room.
That sounds about right.
But
yeah, we had 16.
So here's the strangest thing is that, so in the room was Tim and Adam and I and James and Jen. And Tim and Adam's magic bands did not work on the door, but mine did. And James and Jen's
Well, that's
did.
typically how it works for Adam.
But when
Mikey has been on multiple vacation. My magic band never works to open up the door.
it has never worked.
But
once.
Tim and I Tim and Adam and I get back to the room, and there's already people there. So it's like James and Jen got there, and Chris was in there. Dave Koch was there, and like people, it's like they just started coming out of the woodwork then, because Steven showed up. The Gamberos came to the room.
Well, the Gamberos knew where we were staying.
Right. Will and Tanya
So that
ended up
didn't
coming
surprise
over
me.
after the boys fell asleep.
And then got in trouble and had to go back right away. No, they didn't make it.
No, they came.
I think they came
to
for
the
a
room.
second.
They came literally for a second.
Steven
but they
was
had to go
there.
right
Dave
back.
Koch was there. Chris and Lauren were there. Dave Koch.
Alicia
Was he there?
Lugo.
I don't know.
Twice?
He was there.
There was Alicia Lugo was there. Sarah Ford
And Aaron.
and Aaron. Okay, let's just say it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
There was a lot of drinks poured. It was a shit show.
I think at 11:45, I stood up from my bed in couch form and said, "Hey, I
gotta go
don't
to
want to be
sleep."
that guy, but y'all need to get the fuck out of my bedroom." That's essentially what I said. And people moved out, and we went to sleep. And
The party continued elsewhere. I went to
Yes.
bed.
for some people,
Other people went to bed.
Oh,
Some
Oh.
people got Wawa sandwiches at 5 o'clock in the morning.
okay. Yes, but they didn't really have that much alcohol to drink, from what I understood.
they were just awake for an exorbitant amount of time. Because when we woke up, they had just gone to bed.
Yeah.
Because they were going to rope drop Animal Kingdom on Sunday,
And they did not.
and they did not. They barely showed up.
No, they had brunch reservations.
Yeah, they had brunch.
You're right.
That's why they were going to rope drop.
Who are these they? I wasn't there.
I don't know. Let Todd tell the story. He's been really good at it so far. Nope.
There was one person who's been involved in many debaucherous stories that was there, who's also a bad influence on lots of people.
He was the one who kept everybody up till 5 a.m. And it was basically the girls who came up to the room. So it was Sarah Ford, Alicia Lugo, and Erin, I think, all hung out till about 5 o'clock in the morning.
And they just
Just by the
hung
pool.
out in the pool area, yeah.
Well, they hung out by the pool bar because you can't get access to the pool, but there is a way to get to the bar without having to go through the pool. So they just hung out by the pool bar. And they drank their Trulies.
And ordered Wawa sandwiches at 5 in the
Through
morning.
Dave's friend who works, and there's a whole story behind that too. That
I missed all
Todd
that.
just is jumping over because you
Yeah,
know
perfect.
Todd knows everything.
I don't
that
know.
happened
I don't know
when he
any.
wasn't
I don't
there.
know anything other than we only had 2 seltzers apiece from midnight to 5.
That's all they had left.
Okay, you know what I had from midnight to 5? 5 hours of sleep. So Sunday was Animal Kingdom Day.
Are you? You are not gonna let anybody else talk.
I'm trying to make sure we're advancing.
Yes, you're advancing through things and getting things horribly wrong.
There's going to be a...
What's
I mean,
wrong?
there's just going to be a cut in here of what went wrong and what went right.
Sunday was Animal Kingdom Day.
Yes.
I'm glad you joined us, Steven.
Thank you, Mikey. It's an
Did you
honor.
go to Animal Kingdom?
I did go to Animal Kingdom.
What did you do at Animal Kingdom on Sunday, Steven?
I began my morning on the Navi River, which was followed up by a flight on Pandora with the Baganos. And from there, we went to Everest. It was my first time on Everest. I had never seen the Yeti before.
Did you let your hair down and take off your little band and shoot it when you get to the top?
No, I didn't know that's a thing. Thanks for letting me know. That's terrible. No,
Were you not riding up at the front of the
I was in
train?
I was in the back.
Okay, then no, you wouldn't have seen it. Apparently, it's a thing for girls to take their hair bands out of their hair, little rubber bands, and flick them up on the side where the snow is up there on top of it
Right.
when it comes to a stop.
Yeah, right before it goes backwards.
Yeah, it's totally disgusting.
Wait, it goes backwards?
For real?
I've never ridden Everest.
Yeah, the track switches and it goes backwards downhill in the dark.
I was being sarcastic. I have never ridden it, but I'm aware of function.
I mean, I can't tell anymore. I mean, listen, you've done so much talking. I don't know if you're saying truth or bullshit at this
I'm
point.
trying to
Pretty
keep up
much.
with what the Millers do in this seat. I think it's the chair.
Well, it's new, so
He's feeling the power rising through his butt.
Yeah,
You know-
it's his sticky brown that's getting him all screwed up.
You mean this?
no. You know what I love, Adam? If you look, he is like 5 feet away from his microphone.
Yeah, he's gonna fall the way he's
And
sitting.
no, he's going to have to edit that.
So, we went on the safari. It was one of the most rough safari rides I've ever
Oh,
been
that's right. Okay.
on. Yeah, we had somebody who's look. We understand everyone has to learn.
Everybody has a first day.
Yeah,
Everyone has a
But-
first time.
And then Todd says, I'm going to leave it in.
My couch pulls out. I don't.
But the safari, the driver we had, she was being coached on what to say while she was trying to say it. So we were all turned around. It was rough. But I will say this, it was really cool. We actually saw the elephants playing in the water, which is something that was like mind-blowing to us.
Because you haven't seen that on the Jungle Cruise.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, that's right. And we got the white rhino was out, and the male lion was really going for it. He was in full posing mode, showing off his sexy mane. We went from there to Nomad, and we rope dropped Nomad.
Well,
Where
this
we-
is when because you guys had the longest safari ever.
We did have the longest safari.
Because we were waiting for you. It felt like a good half hour, 45 minutes.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
believe it.
because I
They have to
remember
change
all I
out the
remember is
propane
I
tank.
get a text from Tanya who's saying she's having trouble pulling up to the corrals
Oh.
at the end.
There were 3 people trying to help the driver park the truck.
Steven, why didn't you just hop out and say, I got this. I had to do this with my ECP the other day. Hang on. Let me grab that seat.
I was in the front row. I should have just hopped the screen. You know.
Well,
But
I
we
mean,
waited
they,
for
they
them.
look like cumbersome vehicles.
Yeah, they waited a while for us. Then they went over. You guys went over to Everest to show the Paganos the
Yeah.
temple that lines up.
The altar.
But whatever happens when we go somewhere, we're actually supposed to get on Everest, and then what bar do we walk by?
Thirsty River.
Thirsty River, and
I'm
that
just
was the end of that.
It's the only bar I can ever remember.
Because we couldn't just
Animal
get
Kingdom
Himalayan
is
Ghost.
Thirsty
We had to
River.
get Himalayan Ghost with the extra shot,
Of course, as one does.
as cheaters do.
The
Um,
Leg Ghost.
The other
Otherwise
thing
you
is
get in
that
trouble.
we saw Brian, the Adamses, in every park,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Joyce's mission to get a hug from us every day, which she succeeded in.
We also ran into some new cheaters.
Yes. Yeah. So needless to say, we didn't make it on the ride.
Right, we never made it to Everest.
We never made it. No, we made it to it, saw the line, and turned around.
Right, because it was like 15 minutes when we started there, and by
Mm-hmm.
the time we stopped and got Himalayan Ghost with extra shots and hung out there for a little bit by the Rivers of Life thing, and then it was 45-minute wait. And everybody was like, mm-mm.
Meanwhile, Steven's being seated over at Nomads.
Right.
Yes, and I get
Wait.
the text message, "Are you guys coming back yet?" I'm like, "Oh, we got to move."
Yep. So we were a party of 10, which turned into a party of 16
Mhm.
or 17.
16
I
16
think
or
that's
17.
just simply called a party.
Yep. So we did get a talking to by the manager person. So that was fun.
I think it's because we tried to
What
move
consisted-
move a chair, I think.
We tried to
No.
move one chair, a chair.
No, they what? Because I wasn't that drunk at this point. No, I don't even think I got that drunk this day. No.
So,
Right, because we were
a
flying
rarity.
Monday, so you and Tim were trying
Yeah.
to.
Taper off a little bit.
even out.
Tim won't look at alcohol. Tim has still not looked at like a drink since we've been back. But they already brought over one like bench kind of thing. Then they brought over another bench.
Oh God.
Then we took over the table directly across from us. And then we ended up taking over another table. They didn't get like really mad at us, but they pretty much turned around and said, well, if you should have told me there were this many people. Which is not the first time we heard that trip. But yeah.
I'm as surprised as you are.
How about the surfboard table being gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Because that would have held all of us.
And like I was hyped up for the surfboard table. Like I was expecting it to be there, having seen pictures, and Nomad was a huge highlight for me of going to Animal Kingdom and doing the sheet up. And then it was like, okay, no big table.
I mean, we figured out that the reason why they ended up taking it out was to make more separate seating for other parties. Which makes sense, because that place is it's very hard to get into now, and there's always a wait to get in. And it's not like you can mobile order your drinks.
I've still never been.
Some lady tried to cut us while we were in line,
Maria?
Yeah.
and we
Tried to cut the line, he means.
Oh,
Even ran her over with the ACV.
I had a wheelchair, so it would be Brian
Yeah.
pushing me.
Brian
and
Gert pushed
the front car.
her over and with Steven in the wheelchair.
We take him out at the knees.
that happens a lot in Animal Kingdom, I think. Just people getting mobbed by wheelchairs and strollers there. I don't know. It happens.
It's
to me
not a
when I'm
very
there.
walk-friendly
It's a bad deal.
park. A lot of hills
No.
in Animal Kingdom.
Well, not even that. It's just it's. And I know that the paths are meant to be, free flowing and stuff like that. That kind of creates these, choke point areas where if you're trying to turn around a corner and you're coming the other way, if no one's paying attention, you can lose a shin. Well, you won't lose it; it'll still be in your pants. But
The look on Adam's face
I'm
right
lost.
now.
I'm like, they had major parades through this park. I have run through this park.
It was not pleasant to
so
run
much.
through either.
No, because it's slippery.
It was wet. You're running across a
It was
wooden
slippery,
bridge.
but there are treads on the bridge.
Mm,
Yes, but it's not so much. There's a lot to see to look up at. So a lot of people are really not paying attention to where they're going. They're actually looking around the park. It's one of those parks where all your guides are higher up. They're not at eye level really, so you actually have to look up to figure out where you are and what the placement of everything is. So I think that's the real issue where people are constantly getting hurt in that park is people are not paying attention to where they're going.
I will accept that answer.
very astute.
So, yeah. So after Nomad, we did a Sheeter Flight of Passage.
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. And then
Fuck.
I went home. And I was very sad.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
I
rough.
forgot you left on Sunday. That's right, because Saturday night in our room, you bought a ticket so that you could book an Animal Kingdom Park day.
Yeah.
And
Saturday
meanwhile,
night-
Dave Koch couldn't get into a park because they were all booked up.
And Saturday night, I also got a very strict talking to from Adam.
Oh yeah,
Which
because I was
which
pissed.
Adam was pissed at me about my foot situation, and I'm grateful that Adam was pissed at me.
Okay,
because
so you have to realize, Steven was in pain from the moment he landed because I watched him limp through our Hollywood Studios days because he didn't have a car or anything at that point, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's just a bad sprain.
17 miles on a fractured foot.
Yes, so I'm like, that's not a bad sprain. You don't limp like that and nothing's swollen.
Except it was, yeah. And I will never forget rolling up to the group in Magic Kingdom, and Will Pagano looks at me and said, which foot is it? Is it your left? I'm like, yeah. He's like,
It's that one.
yeah. But, so I got a stern talking to from Adam about getting a wheelchair at the airport, and I have to thank him for that one because, yeah. Because, first off, no one wants to walk through MCO on a fractured foot. So, thanks, Adam. I appreciate the very stern talking to.
Yes.
Second of all, yay,
amazing.
early boarding.
Yay, early boarding.
Third of all, if you're anything like Todd, Tim, and I, every time we got on a flight this trip, we were the furthest thing that you can get away from anything. Like the last terminal in the airport, that's where we're at.
Well, and MCO is a walk,
Cluster.
period.
And it's cluster. It's a big headache.
So I left, I think they went to Springs.
Yes, Sunday night we had.
Yes, because Wineboard George.
We had Jen's birthday. Sorry,
Mhm.
we're not supposed to say numbers.
Wow.
Don't fuck up, Aaron.
Wow, you actually said a woman's birthday's age.
All right, cut it at 149. 39.
Oh, now he's real nervous.
Did you type that out? Because if you just say it, you won't know to cut it at 149 until 150.
But I'll
Good
be able to
point.
cut it. I have 2 days to cut this. So Sunday night we had Jen's birthday celebration at Springs. We sat at our table at Wine Bar George, which is the table we sat at for Star Wars
Yeah.
races in 2019.
Yeah, you know the races that Todd wasn't going
The
to finish?
races I wasn't going to finish. The races I was nervous about because I'd never run more than a fucking 5K. And I had never had dinner there at Wine Bar George. I know Tim and Adam.
We've eaten there
You guys try to do it like every
multiple
trip.
times. Yeah, it's become a must-do.
And the food was,
And it's,
the food was amazing.
Pro tip on this one. We ordered almost all the appetizers, and that's the pro tip, especially at Wine Bar George. I still haven't had an entree there for dinner, but the appetizers, you can make an easy meal out of it. There's enough of them, and they are all very, very good.
We did the flaming cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Will and Tanya did the baby octopus salad, which that was very, very good. Not what I expected, but was very good. There were several orders of macaroni and cheese bites.
Several orders of the meatballs.
The meatballs.
I had the grilled salad.
The pork.
There were a lot of
you
orders of
had that grilled romaine.
Mm-hmm. Which is
It
really
did
good.
look really good. Yeah, Wine Bar George was very, and we got a picture.
We had the olives.
I'm not an olive guy, but I do remember the olives at the table. And then at the end of dinner, James ordered the peppers.
Oh my god,
Grilled
yes.
peppers. And like somebody ate one and was like, oh, that's good. And then they ate another one and it was hot as shit.
That would be this guy. But I didn't stop eating them. This is my problem. It's like I don't know how to stop eating once I start eating. So it was like they were there. I'm still gonna eat them. Some of them were really mild tasting, and some of them were super fucking hot. There's no other word for it. They were good. They were really tasty.
And then Tanya decided on the wine and...
Oh, we had a charcuterie board too.
Oh, we did do a charcuterie. We did the cheese board.
No, we didn't do the cheese board. I really want to go there and do the big cheese board, but it's like 50 or 60
Right,
bucks.
that's the cheese and meat. You guys just did the cheese.
No, we just did a charcuterie board.
Mm.
There's multiple boards that you can get
I
there.
thought it was a cheese, a
Was it
meat,
right-
and then both.
There was meat on the... I think there was meat on the board.
I don't think so.
It was just a small charcuterie board, and then there's the cheese board, which is just only cheese, and then there's the huge board.
Okay.
Get it
I
together,
don't
Todd.
remember. I don't remember. I know there's a more than one.
There is more. There's
but it was
three.
good.
Yeah, I remember the three on the menu. The cheese was good though. I forget what not the span, the first one that he told us about. It went in a clockwise motion.
I never remember. I've had so many charcuterie boards, and I couldn't tell you. At the second they leave, I'm like, oh, I like this one. Which one was that? I don't know. It's
From a
this one.
topographical standpoint, the westernmost cheese was the best. And
Might
that's,
have been from Spain.
that's all I can tell you.
Manchego.
No.
Okay, that's all I got. It's
And
only-
you saw Wine Board George himself.
Yes, we got a picture
Yes,
with
we have a picture with
George
them.
Meliodas. I asked the server, I was like, does he do pictures with guests? And he was like, yeah, all the time. Cool. Hook us up. And then like
'Cause
20 minutes went by.
because Todd was afraid to just ask him, so he had the server ask him. Is what the rest of the story
Maybe.
is.
And the reason why is just because I wanted to make my wife jealous. Love you, honey.
Yep, somebody's gonna end up stabbed in the neck.
Not
It's
it.
been done.
Well, at least you'll get a good laugh out of it.
And then I think after dinner, we just we
What else
hung out for a
happened,
little
Todd?
bit. I ran into my cousin. So my cousin is home from Africa. She's in the
Wait,
she's in the
what?
military. She's home from Africa for a couple days. Booked a trip to Disney last minute, so I got to see her. I haven't seen her in like 7 years, which was awesome. And I think
Did she get a token?
I don't think she did get a token.
We went a little bit early to do some shopping. So we shopped around before dinner.
We did some shopping after.
Yeah, and that's really it. Went back to the room and,
Yeah, we kind of took it easy on Sunday because we knew we were flying out Monday.
well, that, and it was also, I don't want to pack like I packed for the last trip, where I literally was throwing things in my luggage right until I left.
Oh, you mean Goodman style?
Yes.
Jem was so disappointed that James wanted to go to sleep and she couldn't pack. She was like borderline nervous breakdown. She was like, I'm going to have to pack everything in the morning. And they were just moving to Jumbo House the next day.
Well, I mean, but it's still, they had the totes and everything else, so.
So I packed
Like,
everything
I packed my
Sunday night. I packed everything Sunday night.
I did not.
I just threw everything into a suitcase.
That's like anything that didn't go into my tote ended up in the suitcase. But like the tote, I actually took care for packing because there's bottles and stuff in there.
Mhm.
Whereas my suitcase is, let's fit everything we can and pray that it's not overweight.
And we were all way under.
But Todd, you forgot my best part. How many Kuiper crystals did you buy?
Enough.
He says,
Oh,
Todd, you forgot my best part.
speaking of Kyber crystals, though,
Yeah.
two members of
Todd
the
wanted
group.
to fast forward over it, but 2 out of the group, we can now honestly say we have black Kyber crystals.
Yeah, Will pulled one Friday. He went to Doc Ondar's after we built the Sabers and bought, I think he bought 2 reds. And he
He
actually opened them on the bus and we all got to witness it. And then 2 Sheeter hosts cut me in line and bought,
I didn't know he was in line. Swear on my life, he did not know he was in line.
and I'm not upset. I'm really not upset. Honestly, like I don't want you guys to feel any kind of way.
I mean, they wouldn't.
They
care,
wouldn't,
but
and they don't.
No, that's not true because I actually came up to you and I said,
You
I
did.
apologize.
You were like, "Are you upset?" I'm not upset. Like, yes, I would love a black Kyber crystal. I'm not upset that you guys got one at all. But yeah, so Tim and Adam bought 2, and then I bought 2 behind them, and Tim we opened one, and it was red, and they were all very hard to open. I
They
think
make
Carly
them
pulled
that
out
way.
like some nail clippers or something to give us a
Yeah, she pulled out
It
some
was a
sort of
sharp
like
edge
device so that we
to
can actually
break the
cut it
plastic.
open.
And Tim unscrewed the cap, and he was like, "That looks awful dark."
And then he just let it jump up and
And
down
then he
actually ran away.
He jumped once or twice, and then ran away from the group
Ran away.
because
my precious.
pretty much.
But we're also finding out you gotta kind of talk to the people who are giving them to you. I know you said at Doc Ondar's you just pick them out of a tray pretty
Yeah, they
much.
just come off the wall. Yeah.
But I had a full conversation with the cast member behind the counter, and we were joking around and talking, and it was like, hey, have you seen one? She's like, oh, we were talking about how Will found his, and, I haven't seen one yet, but the guy before bought one, and he didn't bring it in, but he showed me 2. And I said, well, if I get one, I'll bring it right back, and I'll show it to you.
And you did.
Yes, so...
And then I bought 2 the next day, and the woman was like, "Oh, some guy came in and bought like 4 or 5, and 2 of them were black ones." And I was like, "Really? Fuck that guy." Is his name Larry?
He's probably boring.
Probably ultra boring. Yeah, so two of our our group got, and I think somebody said Sarah Miklos Smith also got a black one on her birthday. I don't know when that was, but she posted in the group like, "Oh, I got one on my birthday." So 3 sheeters, and I think we're at, Maria told me tonight, 2,548 members. So 3 people out of 2,500, and how many of those 2,500 have bought kyber crystals, but have black ones? So, and Tim also said that there's 2 different variations of each color and 4 variations on the red.
Correct.
They do different things in the holocrons.
Well, they don't really do different things, so they're going to light up the same color. You're just going to have different voices, so I just found out that there's an Ahsoka one.
Oh, really?
So now it is my mission to
color's
find
the
the
Ahsoka
Ahsoka
one?
one. I don't
Because
remember
I didn't
right
look
now.
at the list.
Tim has the list, and I'll ask him to either...
Told myself to save the pictures so I could look through and see what I got. Because I basically bought one of every color, so I'd have them. And I know my green one is Obi-Wan, it's not Yoda, because I put that in the Jedi Kyber Crystal that Kellen had for roughly 10 minutes before misaligning the corners, and I had to take the fucking thing apart. Yeah, so I'm excited to run all of them through and see what voices I got. And now, it gives me another reason to, I need another reason to go back to Disney and spend money, but I'm gonna buy a different one of each color and try to get the full set. So
No, yeah,
You can also put these in the sabers, right?
correct.
Yes.
And it changes the color within the saber.
Correct. Other than
Right.
the black one.
Okay.
If
I
you
don't-
put a black kyber crystal
Don't
What-
do
in
it.
the,
Don't do
in
it,
the saber,
Todd.
it still creates a red blade. It just makes different sounds.
Okay.
Adam,
I
are
don't
you
know.
okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
he's
What did I do?
Because I can't say what I'm going to say. So we can't do it.
Okay. God, 2 hours. What's next, Todd?
Monday, Jen and James packed. Adam and Tim finished packing. I was done packing. I think we hit Springs for a couple hours, and James took us to the airport. And
We had lunch at Deluxe Burger because
Yep.
nothing opens in Springs now before noon.
yeah, it was 12 o'clock for where were we gonna go? And they didn't open till 12.
Morimoto's. And then we checked at the food carts, and the food carts don't open till 5 p.m.
So Tim never got his macaroni and cheese from the food carts.
Yeah, so that's our reason to go back.
But we hit Deluxe
'Cause,
Burger.
we already have a black card.
And I can say this now because it's not a spoiler. I asked Maria, hey, what do you want me to bring you back? Because I got the boys' hats. She said the boys need new hats, and Abby wanted the Grogu Spirit jersey, and I got that. And I said, what do you want? She was like, oh, a cookie from Gideon's. And I was like, how about a fucking diamond necklace? Because it's more feasible. But Brian Gerton was in line at Gideon's, and he and Stephen Cohen are officially no longer dead to me because Stephen gave up one of his cookies that Brian was going to ship him so that I could have it to give to my loving wife, which she also graciously shared with me. But the cookies at Gideon's, for those that aren't familiar, they're like half-pound cookies. They're fucking enormous, and it was very, very tasty, even a day later.
You're welcome, Tom.
It was amazing. I'm excited for you to get yours because really, really good cookie.
Yeah.
What about her beautiful necklace?
The Luxury of Time DVC gift is a necklace. She actually did like the necklace. I showed it to her and she was like, oh yeah, I told you she likes blue.
It looks like the fakest piece of jewelry I ever seen in my life.
She literally was like, oh, that's really nice. I'm not going to sweat in it though. She know it'll turn her skin green.
Exactly. Yeah. The second she said, it's really nice, I'm not going to sweat in it. Not that nice.
Well, at least she doesn't have $16,000 watch taste.
He didn't buy it.
Fair. That's fair. Luxury of Time also has the thinnest electronic watch, the thinnest mechanical watch.
Okay, the second they start talking about watches, I'm like, yes, it's pretty, and I walk away.
He handed it to
That
Tim
guy.
and said, it's the thinnest electronic mechanical watch, whatever. Tim gave it back to him. And he Googled the price and was like, $16,400, I think. Some astronomical price.
It doesn't even have an activity mode on it.
No,
Doesn't close any rings whatsoever.
no,
No.
I don't know. I don't understand the point
It's
of
got a
it.
clasp, but no rings.
And then I think Jen stayed in Springs, and we started our depression on the way back to the airport. Although we did meet that woman from Michigan
He told us about
who
the
told us
snow.
about the 7 to 11 inches of snow they were expecting, and I was like, well, at least we're not going back to that.
No, I'm having snow right now, though.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm having a snow shower.
Sorry.
Steven, big takeaways from RAWR.
All right. So this was my first sheet up. It was everything and more than I could have ever expected.
Leave us a good review on Yelp, would you?
Yeah, 5 stars. 5 stars. I think it goes without a doubt saying that this group, this Ohana, is an absolutely amazing collective of people. I think that honestly nothing can prepare you for a sheet up. As Adam and I talked about beforehand, but and just to be completely honest, I think making friends as an adult is extremely, extremely difficult. And I'm so glad that I found this group, and to be able to spend 4 days with just amazing people and get drink and get yelled at for walking on my bum ass foot. And just
If
being
you
able
and Mother and Me came out, I can't help it. It's fine.
I mean, this was my first time drinking around the world. It was my first time getting to experience the park in a completely different pair of eyes, so to say. And I just, I can't wait for September to get to do it again. And I think, honestly, it's, even though I've spent just about every week online with you guys in some shape or form for something, I think there's nothing like being able to spend time with the members of this group in real life in the place we love so much. So that's all from Lightning McCohen. So
I'm sorry, dude. What does Cohen Hawkins have to say?
I don't, yeah.
Stephen Cohen Hawkins has to say that Walt Disney World needs to get faster ECVs
Not
in
doing the
Magic
voice.
Kingdom, because
I'm
the ones
disappointed.
in Springs are like race cars in comparison.
All right, Todd, can you play with the editing software?
Just a website, just text to speak. Just type it in there. It'll spit it back out in a waveform. You record it, and then you put it up. Yeah, it's easy. But yeah, we'll do that.
I would just modulate his voice.
Or you can
Welcome
do that.
with
to
that.
3 Sheets to the Mouse, a podcast all about Disney. We will drink you around the world.
Oh,
I was hoping you'd keep going because that could be a new intro, even though Stephen Hawking has nothing to do with Disney World.
but he could.
He does
Oh, he's
now.
dead.
Well, keep his memory alive.
I guess so. Okay, well, somehow this managed to turn into closing remarks, so we're just going to move ahead with that.
That's where I assumed we were at, Mikey.
No, I like your assumption. It actually works out well because Todd, part of me wants to make you go last because you said so much already. But go ahead, Todd. We'll. What are your closing remarks?
Yeah, I mean, this is my first trip, sans wife and kids.
Congrats.
Maria, I mean, I've been to Disney before as a very young child, but Maria really got me back into it in 2018 when I joined the group. This is my first trip without her, and it was, and this is not a knock against her, but there was like no set plan. It was very relaxing. I didn't have to set alarms for anything. We didn't rope drop. It was a different trip. But I got to spend it with some of my favorite people. And I had a really good time. And I got to share that with a lot of people who love the same things that I love. And it was just really nice to just kind of relax. Like I said, I did 5 rides this entire trip. Very low key, and I still got to do a lot of stuff that I haven't done before. Did a lot of sit-down dining, which we don't normally do because we're normally hitting festival booths and quick services, and it was nice to take a step back from the normal Disney trip that I have.
That you typically have. Adam,
Yes.
you met some new faces, met some old faces. I mean, I guess everybody did that, but I mean,
I
Adam's
made
got a
lot
history of anxiety meeting new people, and I'm just,
Yes.
you know, it's getting a lot better.
It's getting 100%.
I think it's non-existent at this point.
No, because there was, and I'm not gonna lie, I can't say it's totally gone, because I'm still kind of leery of doing things with new groups, and that's something that I did for the first time, I think ever, where I kind of went off with Steven and everybody else, and kind of went off with people I didn't really know before, and gave me a little anxiety at first, not gonna lie about it, but I still did it. And I don't think I would have ever had that opportunity to do that without the group. I don't think I would have ever gotten over that fear of, like, you know what, hey, this is gonna be okay. And I had a shit ton of fun. We have a new way to sing certain songs now, so it's just gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm talking about. For those in the know. But it took me a little, like, I'm usually okay, like, doing things by myself. Have no problem, like, going out, and if I was by myself, Tim didn't want to go to the park, I would go to the park by myself. But I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to hang out with, like, a different group of people that I didn't already know. And this trip kind of forced me to do that. I also made a lot of deeper and more meaningful connections with a lot of people that I don't think I would have had the opportunity to do so either. So, I mean, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, and I'm always going to have anxiety on some level. I know this. But, I mean, I think Kayla's mom gave me the best compliment when she said he was so outgoing and so nice, and I'm like, 3 or 4 years ago, I would have been cowering in the corner not talking to people. So, this group has done a lot more for me than I think that I could ever expect or even hope in my dreams. Like that.
Wish I could have been there.
Sorry, Todd.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Well, I'm glad everyone had a good time. Mostly, I'm glad John Gambaro made it all the way through. So he can do it all over again at the end of the year, or in October, September, October. Because that, oof, I did see those pictures. But, yeah. Thank goodness everybody made it back home okay. I keep looking at all these new members in the group, and they're asking, what the hell's a RAWR, and what's this and what's that, and then they get clued into the whole 5 at 50, and that's kind of taken off, right?
That has grown. Like this, we had an official group that said they were going at 53 or 54 the last time I checked. We had a lot more than 54. The 5 at 50 is over 100.
So plan accordingly, everybody. We will be somewhere sometime. And when I say we, I don't mean just like me and Adam and Maria and Tim or whatever. It's just like the Sheeters are going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
So, just don't be surprised if you turn the corner and hear a bunch of drunks being drunks.
And just so you know, the cast members recognize when we all wear the same shirt. Because,
Friday.
You're right, this.
I mean, it was something in Hollywood studios.
When people are you with that group?
Am I holding a yellow flag and chanting?
Yes, pretty much.
And it was the temperature check. It wasn't even a regular
Yeah.
cast member. Are you guys with that other group that was wearing those shirts? Not a chance.
No.
We don't know them.
I made it with my cricket. What are you talking about? Okay, well, thanks for listening to Todd recap this show tonight. Hell of a job, Todd. You know what? You should have your own podcast.
I don't have time. This podcast pays too well.
Well, I mean, before we wrap up, if you want to say where you can actually, like, I don't know if Todd has anything he wants to hype, like the gaming chat and yours.
Yeah, hype it, Todd.
Yeah, so Maui Time Gaming on Facebook. It's MAUIT1ME. Stephen Cohen is our biggest donor right now. All donations go to Gamerosity. My birthday fundraiser raised over $1,100 for Gamerosity, so funds 2 hero boxes. All donations to Maui Time Gaming will be donated to Gamerosity to continue to fund hero boxes for children battling cancer, and just give them some light in their lives. Yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much covers it on my end.
What about you, Steven? Do you have anything you want to promote, hype up?
I would just say I will be the Maria. If you enjoyed what you're hearing tonight, or whenever you're listening to this, please find us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/group/3 sheets of mouse. That's the number.
It's just 3 sheets.
I tried.
It's okay. I literally had a friend of mine look it up, and she typed in the number 3, and it finished it for her on Facebook.
That's
awesome.
good. That's progression.
Well, no, Zuckerberg could have been listening because I was like, no, here's what it is. And she typed in 3, and it's like, ah.
Some
But hey.
quality SEO right there.
That's right.
The other thing I want to say and give Steven a shout out for is that he actually runs a lot of our game nights for those who like enjoy playing murder mystery,
The Jackbox games,
any of that. We've also just keep an eye on the page, and Steven usually organizes and runs those for us. So
Some
pretty
type of
awesome, and we
Zoom
appreciate you for it.
or a room, and
Thank
yes.
you. Yeah, we're gonna
You're
try and keep it weekly. So we usually do it Friday or Saturday nights. It's usually somewhat sporadic. It's posted around dinner time. So just take a look at the page. But the Zoom can hold a lot of people, so come get your drink on with us and make funny jokes.
Fantastic. Well, that's going to do it tonight on episode 203. We're going to get out of here. We're going to say this is not goodbye. This is see you real soon for 5 at 50. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
And thank you.
Hi, this is Christopher from Topolino's Terrace. We just finished dinner, and as I was clearing the table, found one of the guests' cell phones. So I have that for you. I got the number from the business card you gave me. Please let me know. Most probably what will happen is they will give it to the front desk, so you're aware. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to 3 Sheets to the Mouse.